Welcome to the Overflow Podcast. Today we're going to talk about more tragedy that happened this week. As always, our Arrowverse conversations, and we'll continue our topic on fruits of the Spirit with goodness. So now join us as we continue, always with the pause. This is Joaquin.
This is Jay.
And this is the Overflow Podcast. I don't know what's wrong with me in that pause. I can't not do it.
You should script it out.
I should script it out. I'm basically lazy. That's basically what it amounts to. Because, so it's Thursday, right? So on Thursdays, or it's Thursday night. Actually, technically, it's Friday morning. But
technically,
on Thursdays, I get off of work and I go work out.
Which murders you.
Which crushes me. I work out and then I come home and eat and then I shower and then I sit because every point in my body hurts or it's just sore. I feel kind of good right now. But tomorrow morning I'm going to be hey. Today's workout killed me, bro. It killed me.
Yeah, you told me instead of doing burpees, you were doing sloppies.
I was doing slurpees. Yo, so as always, we did this thing where it was we start off on the treadmills and another group started off in the weight room. So I was in the weight room and then went to the treadmills. And then we did this thing where it was like a team thing. So it was 3 people to a team. And you had the person they called them the pacer.
Right.
And the non-pacers. So then because it was 3 of us, so it was like A, B, C. So you start with A. A is the pacer. So A starts on the treadmill. He's got to go, he's got to go, whatever distance. When he gets to that distance, he goes to the rowers.
Okay.
Right. And then the person to the rower comes to the weight room. The person in the weight room goes to the treadmill. And then the pacer does 300 on the rower. Then they go to the weight room and they have to do 15 burpees. And then he had to just continue that until time. Then we switched it again, and there was the B person, right? So wherever we stopped, the B person. So if you were in the weight room, you did the 15 burpees, then you had to go to the tread, the 300, all the way around.
Yeah.
So guess who was the third person in my team? You can't see it, but the thumbs are pointing at this guy. And I was gassed out because you got to wait for the pacer, right? So however long it takes them to get each one done, that's how long you're at whatever station you're at until you switch. So if you're at the rower, you're just rowing and rowing and rowing. So if it takes the person 4 minutes to get the whatever miles,
yeah, right?
So that means you do however many meters. You're just there for 4 minutes. And that wears you out. So got to my team, and it was I started the weight room. I was like, we'll get the burpees done. Well, and so the Slurpees got done. It was the Slurpees. Yeah, that's half slow, half burpee. It was a Slurpee. So I was doing the Slurpees. I could barely move. Then I go over to the treadmill, and I'm trying to walk fast, and my legs are screaming. My legs almost quit on me. So under my rotation, we only did the rotation once. And that's why I hate working in teams. But other than that, I'm back down to 280, which I'm happy about because
nice.
The week of my birthday, that weekend up through my birthday, I ate everything that I shouldn't have been eating and that I haven't eaten in months. So I was killing the French fries, killing the pizza, killing the beer. I was just killing. And then I weighed myself. I was like, oh my gosh, I gained weight. Last week I weighed myself. I was started crying. So then this week, looks like I'm back down to 280. So by Thanksgiving, I should be at no less or no more than 270. But I should be able to lose more than 270. I should be able to lose more than 10 pounds by Thanksgiving. So I got a month and a half. So can the kid do it?
You can do it.
Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, enough with my sad tales of trying to work out. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm confuzzled right now.
Why are you confuzzled? What's going on? You're on the phone. What you looking at?
I was trying to find. I thought I saved this article on the phone.
Right.
That claims.
Here we go.
No, tiraera.
Oh.
If anything, the tiraera is gonna come
At us.
at me.
Okay, at you specifically.
Yeah, specifically. I saw this article
'Cause that's how we
and
do.
I didn't read it. I just saved it.
Uh-huh.
And by saving, I mean not that I favorited it to my bookmarks folder, but rather, just kept it open, kept the window open.
Right.
But it disappeared now. That claimed that that the creators of Superman, Siegel and Schuster,
Right.
were Christians.
I think I saw something
That they were Christians,
about that.
which explains all of the messianic undertones of the story of Superman.
Right. Well, I mean, but the Jews also have a lot of messianic undertones.
Yeah, of course.
So
which wouldn't matter, but
which could also be the explain the
but this was the first time ever in my life
you ever seen
that I see something or somebody that claimed
that they were believers.
that they were believers in Christ, right? That
would be
knew
inter-
them and said that they were believers in Christ.
That would be interesting.
So
You could have used that information when you were a kid. Mom, I'm reading Christian comics.
Oh no, my parents never had an issue with me reading comics. That's why they let me. I mean, they would give me money for comics. Remember, when I was a kid, comics were a quarter.
They were a nickel. They were a nickel.
Like the double size ones were 50 cents.
The double issues were 25
Right?
cents.
And then they went up to 75 cents. Oh my God, I'm still paying them.
And then once a month, I could buy three for a quarter.
I mean, some of them are still like $5 now. Thank you, DC Comics, for deciding overall to make all their comics
A little cheaper, right?
$2.99. Yeah,
$2.99. That's still
$2
a lot.
to $3 cheaper.
I can't do it, man. Comics always bug me because
It's still a lot, but
comics always bug me because I don't have the patience. I want to read the story and be done with it. I hate the whole reading, and then depending on the comic, it could either be out the next week or 2 weeks,
well, no, yeah,
right?
it's-
Whatever. And so I'm like, I don't want to wait that long.
DC has certain titles that come out weekly.
Right,
If not, they rotate every 2 weeks.
right. That's what I'm saying.
So Superman will be this Wednesday, and then in 2 weeks the next one.
Right,
Right? Well, Superman, but then next week we'll have Action Comics.
right.
Right? So it's like that. Like Superman's got
But-
3 or 4 titles, and Batman has 3 or 4 titles.
Right, but they're all different stories.
Right. But the thing that
But
I
that's
like,
what I'm saying. That's what bugs me is I can't. I'm like, if I read, whatever Action Comics today,
yeah,
then I gotta wait 2 weeks to read the continuation. I can't.
I
can't. I hate that.
I'm ready.
I hate that.
I'm good. I get them digitally now.
Even as a kid, I hated that. That's
Because
why.
they're too expensive. They're too expensive. But
Yeah, that's
But on comic news, right? Because
that's one.
we
That's one
talk,
Starbucks you don't get.
we rarely talk about comics, but in comic news, the biggest thing going on in the comic universe right now
is who's gay?
no
one's gay. Okay.
Batman proposed to Catwoman.
To Catwoman.
Dude,
finally,
right?
It's been 75 years.
because Batman and Catwoman met in the first issue that Batman comes out as Batman.
Right.
They met. Year one, they met. Right?
It's like,
So it's
hey,
75 years later,
you doing?
he finally pops the
You
question.
finally asked her to marry him.
And she said yes.
She said yes.
She said yes.
So are they? So you know how they do J-Lo, they do the, what was it when J-Lo was with
which guy?
Batman, when she was with Batman.
Oh, with Affleck.
What was they had their little name? I forget what it was.
Yeah, that's how important that is.
Brangelina.
Brangelina.
So what's they're gonna be?
I don't know because they're both
they're Catwoman, Batman. Are they Catman?
Catman.
Or Batwoman? No, there's a Batwoman.
And there's a Catman.
And there's a Catman. Are they Salowanes.
Bruce Lena.
Bruce Lena. There we go. Hashtag Bruce Lena. We want an invitation, DC. To the wedding.
Yeah, I just want to know if they're actually gonna marry them,
or someone's gonna die, right?
right? Or not someone die,
or Flash is gonna screw up the timeline again.
or Selena
gets cold feet,
literally. Or no, she commits some crime, and she runs, she goes on the run, or
right.
Something stupid, right?
Right.
But the thing is,
she commits a crime and Deathstroke is after her.
The thing though that I was telling you before is that right now with the return of the original Superman, according to the
lore
going on right now with Rebirth,
to the retcon,
right? Clark and Lois are married and they have a son, Superboy, Jonathan Kent, right? So then, in this one also, Batman has a son, Damian.
Right.
He's the new Robin, right? But then also in I think it was Action Comics or in the Superman comics, right? General Zod comes back.
He's got a son,
and he saves his wife and son from the Phantom Zone. What the hell? What's going on?
They've been there.
And
what a terrible father!
How did they meet? He's been in the Phantom Zone.
He's been in the Phantom Zone all these years, and he never took her out with him.
It's not Feora. Right, it's like some. I don't even remember her name.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what it was. Yeah. So before Krypton was destroyed, so she had committed some crime, and they threw her in there already.
And was the kid born in the Phantom Zone?
Yes. And so when they threw Zod in there, Zod's like, "Oh man, I'm in here, and I don't like Feora like that. We're just friends.
You were just friends."
And so that he's looking. One day he's sitting on a rock as he's floating, thinking of planning his revenge. And then he looks across and he sees another rock and he goes, "Who is that?" And there we go. And that's how Zod met his wife.
But it's funny, like, because
that's why but she nags him a little. That's why whenever he gets out of the Phantom Zone, he doesn't bring her with him until finally.
But check this out. So
they worked it out. They had counseling.
There's a comic book called Super Sons. It's like the adventures of Superboy and
Damian,
Robin,
right?
And then there's the Teen Titans that Damian, because you can't have a Teen Titans without a Robin, right? So you've got all these kids, right? It's almost like DC is setting up, instead of rebooting everybody again, they're just gonna, all right, buy Superman, buy Batman, buy Zod, and their children are gonna take over.
And then Wally will do something to the timeline, and then we'll just
bring it all back.
Bring it all back.
Flashpoint 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, it'll just be like, come on, guys.
Yo, did you see the new pictures of I'm like segueing everything of they put out new pictures of the Flash TV show,
right?
And now Wally is like his hair is like completely straightened.
No, isn't? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he looks like a pimp named Slickback.
Named Slickback. And that's a Boondocks reference for those of you that don't know. So,
it's still like his Wally, like his fro is gone. Now he's got like this
activator.
This activator hair.
He was watching.
What's going on?
He was watching Welcome to America. What was that called? Soul Glow. Yeah, but speaking of, though, I am super excited so I think it's next week. The Arrowverse kicks off.
I won't be here,
and Jay probably will not be here, so
but I'll catch up on Wednesday.
Yeah, he'll have to, so we can bore everybody for the first half. Now, so on Mondays it's Supergirl and Flash, right?
Is it?
I think it's Supergirl Flash. On Tuesdays, Supergirl Flash.
So they move Supergirl from Monday to Tuesday?
Right. So what it's gonna be is it's like Tuesday Supergirl Flash, and then I think it's Wednesday or Thursday it's Arrow.
So what's gonna take over
Legends.
on Monday?
I don't know. One of their new shows. I think
Black Lightning.
No. I think like Valor is one of their new shows, or
I think
Riverdale
Dynasty, right?
And Dynasty. So probably one of those shows. Well, look, I don't. It is kind of, for me, junky, because it was cool, right? Because I wasn't really into Supergirl, but
you still had that Monday, Tuesday.
But you had that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was like, so it was like Tuesday. Now it's gonna be back to back, which, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing either.
But when's Black Lightning coming out?
Next year.
Next year?
Next year. I think it's like a mid-season. They're pulling them. They're I believe it's a mid-season show.
Okay, that's the test
to kind of test to see how maybe it's gonna do.
To see whether they bring it back and connect it to the rest of the universe or not.
I hope they do.
Well, that depends on if it's good. Because you see what happened to the Inhumans.
Yeah, but the problem with the Inhumans.
Besides everything.
No, here's why it was no good. And I didn't watch it because
I did.
I saw so much. Like, I didn't see anyone that said, like, oh, it was okay. Like, it was just like, ugh.
Boss Logic said it was okay.
I didn't see him say that.
He said it was okay and has potential. And I said, well, they must be showing a different one in Australia then.
Welcome to the land down
Because it was
under.
hot garbage.
So, well, first of all, the problem with Inhumans was that was Marvel.
The shots fired. Shots fired.
What you know? Because let's be real, like, other than Netflix, other than the
Marvel TV,
Marvel TV has not been.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Has not been very good. So you have that problem.
Like the only highlight of
like
Shield was where they had Ghost Rider.
Like I read that ABC wanted to cancel Shield,
right?
And Disney was like, no. Like Disney told them, no, you're gonna.
Because it's a moneymaker. No matter what, because of the movies, it's a moneymaker.
Well, but anyway, the point is that that was number one.
Are there any Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. toys?
It was are there any Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pops? I don't think there are.
I didn't see any pops.
Because they stink. Anyway,
they suck.
So that's the problem with. Ultimately, that was the Inhumans problem, and plus it's a weird. Inhumans is a weird. Like they kind of introduced them, the idea of them in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's where they should have kept them, build them off of that. But I mean that's just I don't know too much about them, and so even the trailers, only thing I knew stuff.
They tried too fast because the Inhumans was supposedly going to be a Marvel movie,
right?
And then they trashed that, and then they just sped up the process
to make it a TV show. Yeah,
and I was like, we've talked about this. I don't understand how TV or movie how you can make a movie or TV show where the main character can't speak.
I mean, that's not the problem.
Like he can't speak. He can't say anything.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that's
so
that.
In the TV show, there was a lot of I'm not even sure if it was like regular sign language or their own.
Listen,
but like I saw the first episode.
Listen, we love Speechless, and the kid doesn't speak; he just kind of emotes. And
yeah, but it's funny as heck,
right? Because they make it work, right? Because he's got the guy that So
no,
they can make it work, but it's a weird property that people didn't know about. That's what I'm saying. Like
it wasn't any good.
It was like you introduce, but that's what I'm saying though. You introduce the Inhumans in S.H.I.E.L.D., and then out of nowhere you're building this whole new world, and
on the moon,
and no one. I think just part of it was they just didn't do a good job with it, and part of it was just a weird. It's like a weird show to
on the moon.
It's like if they did a Lobo TV show. I don't think it would do as well because not many people know who he is.
I think it would if they kept it a comedy.
Well, but that's what I'm saying though. It would be on CW and it would be more of a dramedy. So,
but I'm saying like I saw the first episode, and like it was just like the morbid curiosity,
right?
And I didn't see anything that redeemed it to make me want to watch the second episode.
Plus, that seemed to be a show that would need to be heavy on special effects,
and the special effects for Medusa's hair,
right,
was trash.
Yeah, a lot of people. Nobody liked it.
Like it was trash. It was,
and apparently it was a little better than the first time, and still people were kind of like,
yeah, it was trash. So,
anywho, all that to say is
honestly, if they show the second episode, like
they're going to show.
No, but I'm saying it could be like that whole show could just be like a TV special of 2 episodes.
No,
that's it.
No, they're showing the season.
No, I know.
They're doing like 13 episodes, and then they got canceled.
Pobrecitos. Like it went from first season.
So all that
series.
to say is, I think Black Lightning will do well. I think it's gonna be all right. I mean, it is.
I'm not convinced yet.
It is what it is. I think Black Lightning's gonna be like Gotham was. You
gotta
got
build it.
You got to give it a little time to get some legs.
Okay.
You know, because speaking of Gotham, we saw this week's episode, and it was pretty good.
It was phenomenal.
It was pretty good. It was great as they built more on Bruce, on who he ultimately becomes.
Right. What I loved about tonight's episode, or technically last night's episode, is that they, like you just said, they built on Bruce, right? Like, and since the first episode, it's been like him, like starting on Batman, right?
Right. So
on Batman, like year one, like going out
and fighting
with the Scully,
fighting bad guys,
right? But tonight's episode,
not just bad guys, but he's fighting like the
low
street
level
punks. Yeah.
But tonight's episode or last night's episode was him expanding on the Bruce Wayne persona.
Yes.
Right. And I love how intricately involved Alfred is.
Yes.
Right. It's
very cool. Like he's
the evolution is cool to watch.
Right, and it's very cool, and right, just the and how Alfred in this kind of iteration, how Alfred, which I was when we were watching, I was thinking how this Alfred and the Alfred from the movie very similar.
Which one?
The BVS, very similar, you know, because the Alfred in BVS was very involved in.
Yes.
You know, he's like helping him. They're you know, so I thought that was that's kind of neat. They like the kind of that connection, but
and also the Alfred in the movie was like, you know, an ex-soldier,
right,
and stuff like that. So yeah,
so it's almost like you're watching. It's almost like you're watching
a prequel
of the movie. But what I love the fact is that
right.
So Alfred's involved.
Gotham's final episode has to be with Batfleck.
With Batfleck, that would be so amazing. So
because the kids got the smirk down too.
Yeah, so that's the thing that to me that was so great is that like you see, so for example, like in the Nolan Batman, Bruce Wayne, like Rachel had to tell Bruce Wayne like you can't be so serious all the time,
right?
And so then he was doing like the Playboy thing, but you could tell, you always kind of felt it was a little like forced.
Yeah.
Whereas what's cool about this is you have Alfred and he's like, look, man, you got to play different. I mean, they really emphasize that on this episode. You got to play different roles and you got to know when to improvise and you got to know when to. So they did the, you know, where he's doing the character, you know, because Batman's, you know, he's known for being able to disguise himself to go, right, hunt for clues and stuff. And so
he was a bit of the detective.
So they showed him, you know, he had to disguise himself so he could be and he even said that I want to be able to detect this, right, you know. And then he's with the accent, and he ends up giving up his cover because he's speaking very proper. He's supposed to be a street kid.
I assure you.
Yeah, I assure you. You know, and then when Alfred's like, look, you know, you can't just be so serious. You gotta kind of, you know, be that you're the rich kid. You know, you're like this rich kid. So then he's, you know, he's at an auction and he's. You know, he's doing the rich kid thing. We're just kind of petulant and just throwing money around. So it was really, you know, it was really cool. So that was the first line that was really, really dope.
Right.
And then the second thing was they're beginning to incorporate Ra's al Ghul into the storyline. They introduced him last year. They gave us a glimpse of him, episode 1.
Yes.
And now he's appearing, and so it's gonna be cool, interesting to see how they bring him, because ultimately Bruce does get trained by him. So how that's gonna kind of work and everything. So really excited. If you haven't caught up with Gotham,
do so.
You need to do so. Stop being a jerk. and do that.
And continue the segue. So finally, next week.
So anyway,
we're gonna have the Arrowverse.
Flash. Arrowverse comes back. Supergirl, Flash, Arrow and Legends, and I'm not a big Supergirl fan,
and I'm not a big Legends fan.
I'm really excited about Flash, especially when I read that they're talking about when they pull him out of the Speed Force, he's going to be almost like reborn, Flash reborn, and he's going to be more.
And he's actually going to finally be the fastest man alive.
And he's going to be the comic book Flash. He's going to be more.
He's going to be lighter,
more jokey, wisecrack, right? And
but he gets a new suit. They all get a new suit,
and he'll get a new suit, and you're right, and all.
Well,
And a new hero is gonna show up.
Well, Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. I don't know anything about the guys on Legends.
Right.
But like Flash, Arrow, Supergirl get a new suit.
Right.
So
Cisco, his suit looked kind of different too, a little bit different. Like it's look closer to the
more to the comics. Book. And Machete's gonna be on Flash. Did I tell you that? Danny
Trejo's gonna be on.
He's gonna be on Flash. He's gonna be on Flash as Gypsy's dad.
So that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be really fun.
That's scary as hell.
And then elongated man is gonna appear
on Arrow or on Flash.
On Flash.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna. I think he's gonna end up joining the team.
Elongated man.
Yes.
He's gonna be like a permanent thing on.
I think. I don't know, but I know. I read that he is gonna appear, and he's gonna be like a detective and whatever.
Yeah. So they're getting rid of Julian, right? They're getting rid of Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, Julian is going off somewhere.
And
looks like Killer Frost joins the team again at some point.
And whatchamacallit, the Ray is gonna be a part of the crossover.
The Ray is gonna be part of the crossover because he's gonna come from Earth X.
Right.
So so he's gonna be part of that, and then he's gonna have a short animated series on
it's a prequel
The Seed.
On The Seed, it's a prequel. Yeah. I saw the first episode.
Oh, it's already on there.
They put it out somewhere early just to like to intro what's going on with the crossover.
Oh, okay, I'll check it out.
And it's pretty dope.
So that's exciting. Then Arrow. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with Arrow now because they blew the island up.
They killed everybody,
and that's the only thing I'm kind of upset is with the previews they kind of showed who didn't die, and it was just kind of like, man, you guys kind of.
They're gonna put Oliver and Felicity back together.
Yeah, it looks like that. Looks like that's what's gonna happen. But
we must be like the only ones who are.
But no, we're not the only. We're not the only ones. But it looks like Deathstroke is gonna be more. They've shifted his character to more of the anti-hero,
like in the comics.
Like in the comics, so he's not just gonna be necessarily, a bad. He'll be a bad guy at times, and So that's cool. Siren is gonna be around now.
Black Siren.
She's gonna be around now, and then so you have the new Black Canary, and then I read that Roy is coming back. The actor that played Roy, that he's going to show up again.
Arsenal
at some point. Whether I don't know if it's going to be Arsenal
or just Roy,
or what they're going to do with that.
Is the sister coming back?
Well, they haven't shown her in any of the previews.
In none of the previews.
So I got a feeling she died. My question, they just haven't shown her. Like, I would love for them. I liked Roy's character. I would like for them to bring him back.
Yeah, I never understood why they got rid of him. But then again, I don't understand why they killed Black Canary either. So.
Because no one really liked her. So Team Arrow, Team Arrow's gonna be.
And I haven't seen anything with Wild Dog in the previews.
Yeah, or Mr. Terrific.
No, I've seen Mr. Terrific.
You saw Mr. Terrific.
I haven't seen anything with Wild Dog or the sister.
So who knows? Like they might ship. They might ship him off because he's got his little girl now. So maybe he'll be like, I can't be fighting anymore. So who knows? But I'm excited to see kind of where they're going, where they're gonna go. They're gonna go with it, and they're gonna
because supposedly they're gonna lighten him up too.
They're gonna light him up. They're gonna finally reveal who the vigilante is.
Ooh,
they're gonna reveal who.
They're gonna
reveal who the vigilante is.
Since they screwed up the comics to give us an aha moment on the show,
and then I don't know who the bad guy is this time around.
It's going to be Felicity.
I don't know.
The funny thing about all this is that Mr. Terrific, like Future, he's like the bad guy. He's the main bad guy in Batman Beyond.
That's right.
The T-Spheres, he becomes the eye that they're fighting against and all that. Yeah.
That's not gonna happen though.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So we're excited about that. Then you got Legends that come back, and Legends is gonna be interesting because they broke time. So like
again.
No, but this time they really messed it up. They jacked it up. You see the preview where they're like, it looks like they're in New York or in a big city.
And there's a dinosaur.
There's dinosaurs running around, all kinds of stuff. They're like, uh-oh.
Are they going to bring anybody new in Legends?
I heard they are, but I've read that supposedly somebody is.
The producers called me and told me.
But I haven't read who it's going to be.
I haven't. See, I'm not big on Legends, so I haven't paid attention to anything.
And Legends last season was good. They're definitely bringing back Damien Dark, I think, as a bad guy.
I see. That's the main thing. Why?
Because what they found, the last season, what they did last season so well that they didn't do first season when they just had Vandal Savage, is that it works better when they have different villains attacking or causing different team members to struggle with, working as a team versus, getting their revenge or trying to fight the bad guy, So it works well as an ensemble of bad guys with the ensemble of good guys. It worked much, much better. And that's a show. Honestly, Legends is a show that's gotten stronger and stronger. So I got good expectation for it. No, it has gotten stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
Why do you say eh?
One more.
Why do you say eh?
Because I tried watching and it's I can't get into it. It's just no me llama la atención.
It's better than whiny Supergirl. Anyway,
yeah, I'm done with Supergirl too.
So they got that, and then they got the crossover, which
I think that'll be the only time I watch Supergirl.
Which Stephen Arnell said is like a 4-hour. It's like a 4-hour movie. That's how he described it. It's gonna be like a 4-hour movie,
just like the other one.
No, that gets that much better.
Oh yeah, because remember the last one, Supergirl, you could have taken it out of the equation.
Right, there was a 2-3 minute scene for Supergirl. So this one, it's gonna. He said it's gonna be it's like a 4-hour movie, and they're gonna do, So Tuesday will be the first or the first 2 hours with Supergirl, Flash.
That's doing the back-to-back thing you just said.
And then Thursday is gonna, I think it's Thursday. It's gonna be, Arrow Legends. So really
Valor. What's Valor?
That's
who's that based on? Louis the 13th?
No, it's about a female helicopter combat pilot.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds actually interesting.
I've seen the trailers.
I have to look at the trailer. And then Riverdale. I mean, we don't talk about Riverdale, but Riverdale is part of the DC universe. Archie Comics is DC.
But they made it if they would have made it closer to the Archie Comics.
Yeah, they made it
so dark and tragedy
and sexy for these. For these,
I haven't watched an episode. Ain't gonna watch an episode
for these tweens. I watched the first episode because I was curious. I mean, grew up reading Archie comics, right? I used to have a lot of Archie comics. So I watched the first episode and I'm like, you guys are destroying my comics.
But yeah, so
no matter what complaint I had about the changes to all the other CW DC stuff, Riverdale just murdered.
Well, it's funny though is that with all the other DC shows, the 4 comic book shows, they made some changes, but they weren't necessarily that far off.
Right, it wasn't comics. Drastic changes. This Riverdale crap. Yeah.
But so I was gonna say Earth X is, I think I'm really intrigued because they're bringing in
Earth X.
So Earth X or Earth 10, right, in the DC universe, it's like the Nazis win, and
they're the heroes,
and
the heroes
they're the bad guys, and so the Nazis win, and so the heroes are like a underground fighting force. So the Ray and all those guys. So there's the Nazi, I call them the Nazi Flash. There's gonna be the Nazi Arrow, right? And they're bringing Prometheus. There's gonna be a bad guy Prometheus from Earth X, but it's gonna be a different actor. So that's why I thought that's gonna be Roy. I thought that would be a crazy twist, right? If they just made him Roy, because then Oliver's like, oh, that's Roy. No, it's not Roy. Nazi Roy got me. So that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Whether it's that the heroes get pulled into Earth X, or I think it's the bad guys from Earth X come to Earth 1 and to try to take over or something. I don't know, but I'm excited. It looks dope.
It looks super dope.
It looks dope. So
all right, so we're
excited about that.
Let's talk about.
So that's all the fun stuff. Now we're just gonna kind of we're not gonna spend too much time on this.
Something else just hit me.
What? We'll just say it then.
I'm looking at the flag of Puerto Rico that you have up there.
Right.
Right.
One of many. Right.
Yeah. Well, the one that's on an actual plaque, not like wait. What happened to your actual flag?
Oh, I had to fold it. I gotta find somewhere else to put it. My walls are all covered with stuff.
Okay. So
I need to carve out a new space.
So it reminded me of, and I'll tell you why, and you could Google this on your own time, but it reminded me of the fiasco that happened out there, and it's still going on sort of in Spain. That's all the way around the horse's butt to get to its face. No, because if you look, right, because the whole thing is Catalonia is looking for its independence, right? Like since like forever, right?
Yeah,
but no,
the Puerto Rican flag looks nothing like the Spanish flag.
No, but it looks like the Catalonian flag.
Does it?
It does. Like Google it. It's just like that.
All right, keep talking.
I think they added 2 more stripes, and instead of white, it's like gold or yellow or whatever, right? Because of the colors of the Spanish flag are red and yellow, right? So if you look at it, it's got the triangle, it's got the star, and it's got. No, that's not the one.
That looks.
That's not the one that I saw. Hold on.
That looks. This one.
Yeah. So again, everybody knows I work for the news. So when the pictures were coming in of like the riots and everything that was happening with
right, because they're trying to get independence.
The Spanish cops were beating up on the voters and all that. Like a lot of them were holding up this flag, and they had it like.
It's because they want to be
like tied around their neck.
They want to be like Puerto Ricans.
It's like I I saw the flag and I was like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on there? Why are they becoming independent?
They're like, wait a minute,
and they're biting off our flag.
They're biting our flag, and we bit off of Cuba's flag. This is not cool. Not cool at all. Not cool at all.
Like, what's going on here?
You can only bite once. You can't just keep biting.
Well. Technically, they did bite once, right? Because had they bitten off of Cuba, then it's more than once. We bit off of Cuba, they bit off of us.
Right, so they bit off the bite. They bit off of the bite.
So now the bite's much smaller. So yeah, I'm looking at the plaque, and I'm like, yep, there's the flag, and then like the image of the picture just popped in my head. It was like, hey, that's right. This whole big thing in Spain where
I saw a little bit about it. Catalonia's they've been trying to get their independence
since forever.
But
apparently they did an illegal vote.
It depends, because I heard that they were allowed to make the vote. They were supposed to be allowed to make the vote, but then Spain was like, no, you can't make the vote. You're not allowed to. And then people didn't go, and then people did go, and the cops showed up, and the cops didn't show up.
According to what did come through, the self-imposed, or however he was put into place, president of Catalonia said, like, he put out the vote to I don't know if it's independicize. That doesn't sound right. But to become independent from Spain, right?
I think it kind of.
But the president of Spain, or the king, or whatever it is now, like,
I think it's prime minister.
The prime minister, like, he never like greenlit any vote or anything. But they went and they did it anyway.
Right.
So that's why.
Which is the question.
The Spanish soldiers went in and they did whatever.
Yeah, who knows? Because,
who really knows?
But it's
all I'm saying is that, if they do become an independent nation, they bit off our flag.
Busters. So we had that. Which, whatever, we don't care. We're not from Spain. No, I'm just kidding.
We do care, because
it's bad that people get hurt, but
because if you see the video,
hey, it's Europe.
If you see the videos of the cops,
the cops were beating them.
Like
beating
it wasn't.
the snot out of people.
It wasn't even like the protest. They stand and they try to keep.
Not
them out.
only were the cops beating the snot out of people, but the cops were beating the snot out of the cops,
dude,
from Catalonia. Like,
dude, like they were. Like I saw a video
my
where
kind of people, man. That's
where
how
a
you take
cop
control.
jumped from the steps and his boot landed in someone's face.
Yeah,
Right, just
Hardcore.
knocked him to the ground.
that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
We need some of that here. That's what I'm saying. That's all.
Some of that here.
We need
Anyway.
some of that here. That's what I'm saying. No, we don't have cops leaping from steps,
Yeah, we do.
putting a boot. Oh no, they don't.
Yeah, we do.
Our cops throw was it tear gas and hit the
our-
dudes with rubber bullets.
Our cops shoot first and ask questions later.
That's all I'm saying. That's my philosophy. So the big thing this week that has been on the news all week, and it'll be on the news tomorrow,
And next week.
is the mass shooting that happened in Las Vegas during a concert. 58 people died.
60.
Was it 60 now? 60 people died. Hey.
Well, technically 59, because I'm not counting the fact that the dude shot himself.
I wasn't. He doesn't count.
Yeah,
So
so it's
58,
59
59 people died. 500 plus
Injured.
And it was pretty bad. The guy ended up killing himself. And it's been the craziest thing is that nobody, like, they don't know yet. And I wonder if they'll ever know, why he did it.
Well,
Because
it hasn't been put out there and talked about, but ISIS did claim responsibility.
Well, they did talk about that. And the news did talk about
did?
that. Yeah, I mean, I saw that on the news. ISIS claimed that it was their guy, but there's no. But other than that,
And I forgot to send it to you today, but I'll send you something tomorrow where
other than
it shows more.
Other than that,
Like where it makes it look like it was something actually theirs. Which just
the reason people think that is because they didn't announce it in other channels. They announced it on their main news arm. Like, the main channel that they use for like real ISIS information. They announced that he was one of theirs. However, there's nothing, it's ISIS. So you got to take that with, a pound of salt or a block of salt. But no one really, but there's still a lot of questions. And there was a note, a note was left, but but they did say, the one thing I have heard is not a suicide note. It was something else, but they haven't really said what that something else is.
which, brings the question, like, is there really a note?
Well, no, they showed the note. Like, you see pictures, there is a note. Now, if the note says something like, I did this for Allah, Allahu Akbar or whatever, then holy smokes, how did he get radicalized? And then that's the question. Because he's an old man. He's a 64-year-old man.
Yes.
It's not somebody that, it's just necessarily, generally speaking, it's not somebody that's all of a sudden going to be like, hey guys, I'm going to like commit jihad, whatever.
Well, the thing that
because they always send young guys. They never said old guys.
The thing that came out today, well,
it doesn't make sense.
If you think about it,
Send old guys.
It makes a whole lot of sense.
Said the old guys,
Right, but
they're
the
the
thing that came out today was that his girlfriend,
right,
isn't actually Filipina, but Indonesian. Right. So they're trying to.
I hadn't heard that. I know she's an Australian citizen. That's all I had.
Yeah, they said that she's actually Indonesian, and that Indonesia is a Muslim country.
See, that's
and like there's a lot of things came out today, and I'm like trying to think now. Wait, if there was a non-sharing clause on the email. Anyway, a lot of things came out today, right?
AJC don't listen to us. Cox Media doesn't listen to us.
Well,
what's up, Eric Erickson?
Well, they might, because remember they
don't listen to us. Ain't nobody there. Ain't none of them.
I put the podcast into that.
You did. Eric said he listened to it. he's starting with some of this garbage.
If Eric Erickson listens, then it will be fine because he'll agree with everything that we say. But like a lot of new things came out to light today, right? So that it just brings more questions. Right. It just brings more questions. And not just more questions on like if he got radicalized, if he didn't get radicalized, but like questions to like all his closest people. Like supposedly they're trying to bring out the narrative that he's been hoarding guns and secretly buying guns and doing all this stuff.
Which he hadn't secretly been buying them because he's been going and getting background checks.
Yeah, exactly, right? But there's like no evidence of like him buying all these guns. His girl is like, I mean, he had like 2 or 3 guns, and his brother was like, oh no, he did. Like none of the narrative of the people that surround him, like even slightly show that he's like. I mean, that's that he snapped. Right, yeah. But the deal is,
I did read some. Okay, so this is where the conspiracy theorist in me comes out.
Woo!
So I did read, and I don't think this is a conspiracy theory, no, but that he was on an anti-anxiety medicine,
right?
Which,
all the side effects,
all the mass shooters, the last like 5 mass shooters were on some type of anti-anxiety medicine, which anti-anxiety medicine can cause you. Or one of the side effects is aggression. So there's that. The other thing I saw is that, and this has been getting more play, and the sheriff himself said it. It looks like he might have had a partner, and there's this shadowy partner that it's just kind of this weird thing. That I did see there's this guy on YouTube I watch, and he's a little bit conspiratorial sometimes, but he does put out a lot of good information, a lot of good points. But he was talking about like they had pictures of a receipt from the day before,
okay,
and it said 2 guests. So like he ordered room service,
okay,
and it said like 2 guests for 2 guests. So it's like, you're not gonna if you're.
What about the 2 windows on 7 different sides of the building?
Are they on separate sides or is that just a big corner room?
Well, they're trying to figure that out,
right? I think it's a big corner room. I don't think it's that it's. I don't
but
think
but then even then, like he's like you said, he's a 64-year-old man. Not active at all. They're saying like the gun that he had was like super heavy. How is this guy gonna go and keep running back and forth from window to window carrying this big old gun?
Well, one of the guns had the legs for it to where you could just rest it and just. So that's probably kind of part of what it was. Now the one thing is they were not automatic weapons.
No,
they had these bumper stocks
that
are actually really cool, and like I would totally buy one, but you can't buy them anywhere now. They're just completely sold out.
Weren't they illegal?
They're not illegal at all.
Oh, okay.
And all it is just like think of it like a spring. So when you press, the trigger, when you press the trigger of a gun or a rifle, you get it's a kickback. Right. So it's like a spring. So when you put it on your shoulder and you press the trigger, the gun kicks back, comes forward, and because you've got the trigger pressed in already, it just keeps firing like an automatic. It's very cool. Like if you look at, I'm sorry, I think it's very cool. Like I looked at them before.
It's not cool,
and I was just like, it's very cool. As a gun enthusiast, very cool. As a way of killing a bunch of people, not so cool. That's all I'm saying. But that's what it was. That's
Everybody
what he was
using.
Have
Nerf guns
because he had like 12 of them at least. So that's how he was able to shoot the different guns just so rapidly. Right. Even though you can train to fire a semi-automatic very rapidly. I mean,
you could.
So
the audio of the burst was like.
Yeah, if you practice, you could easily change it, drop an empty mag, and reload in 3 seconds. So that's just whatever. But there's just a lot of questions. There's a lot of stuff that no one seems to. So they have the receipts.
Mm-hmm.
He shoots a security officer.
Right.
They say that it looked like he planned on escaping.
Yeah, that came out today.
Right. So it's like, what happened then? And then, he had the car full of the Armalite, which all it is a target that when you shoot it, it explodes. Once again, it's kind of a neat thing. Not if you're gonna use it. Not if you're not a neat thing when you weaponize it, but if you're out in big field and you're shooting targets, it's a neat thing. So a lot of questions. My opinion. This is where I go off the rails a little bit. I think it was Al-Qaeda. I mean, not Al-Qaeda, ISIS. I think it was ISIS related. I think there was a second person with him.
There was a second shooter on the grassy knoll.
There's no grassy knoll because it's Las Vegas and there's no grass.
There was a second shooter on the sandy knoll.
It's just desert, the sandy hill. I don't know. There's no knolls in Vegas.
No.
They say he shot himself.
Right.
I'm willing to bet that he was shot, that he was killed by his partner, and his partner disappeared.
And his partner used the
escaped.
escape route.
And his partner is the one that escaped. And that's why there's ISIS, because his partner was connected to ISIS, and they just used them. That's my conspiratorial.
That's my conspiracy theory too. I was talking to a coworker about that just today. The same exact thing. The same exact thing. It's scary. The same exact thing.
You know, he worked for the IRS, so automatically that makes him disgruntled, because all government employees are disgruntled at some level.
But they say that he was worth millions.
Yeah, he was worth millions. I mean, well, he had to have been worth a lot of money. He sent $100,000 to the Philippines, which is interesting because his girlfriend said, well, she thought it was just for him, and if she's telling the truth, she thought it was for her. Okay, no harm, no foul.
Well, no, apparently.
But if she's lying,
apparently she said that he gave her $1,000.
Right, he
sent her away.
Right,
which she thought that he was getting rid of her, like breaking up with her, and
it was going away money, $100,000.
And since he was always, but apparently according to his brother, he was like he did stuff like that a lot. Like he just randomly gave away money to help people, whatever. Right. So like she thought that he was breaking up with her and sending her to the Philippines and gave her $100,000 to buy a house and start a new life. Right. So like when she came back voluntarily because of all this that was happening.
So that's the thing. I think that if something was up with her, she wouldn't have come back.
Yeah, why would she?
She would have disappeared.
She had the money.
Right? She had $100,000. Now, of course, ISIS has been connected to the Philippines. So that was the other question. Like, is that why she sent the $100,000? I guess in a way, there's a lot of things that will.
We just may never know.
We won't know. And that's why I think that, because it was so well planned. They said he had bought rooms a week before for Lollapalooza. So he probably thought that he might have looked at doing it then. Or maybe it was just a dry run because they knew this other huge concert. Right. So my other conspiratorial theory is that he was along in the vein of the guy that shot up the senator. They shot the senator. That was politically motivated. And the reason I say that is because, country music, so people tend to think country music, Republicans, conservatives. So if he was radicalized politically, that's just a conspiracy theory, right? I'm basing this nothing on but pure 100% speculation. So it could all come out that he dropped some acid, saw pink elephants, and decided to start shooting at the pink elephant. Like, we don't know. I mean, right? Ultimately, that was my other, that it could have been, because we've had some politically motivated type violence. Yeah, correct. We had a shooting. We've had the riots with the Antifa and stuff. So I mean, I don't think that is necessarily a out of the pale or out of the question thought. So, but unfortunately, all that happened, and
but it's sad.
I just don't believe he snapped, because if he had just snapped, if it was somebody that just snapped and wanted just to shoot people, he wouldn't have rented a room. He wouldn't have done that. He would have just walked right out to this crowd and just started shooting.
Yeah, it was too stylized.
Right, but it was like a movie, man. Like what he did was just crazy. So.
No, it's sad that so many people
heartbreaking.
So many people died. Yeah. Right, it's sad that so many people just out there, enjoying time probably with their family or loved ones, watching their favorite country music artists, and this tragedy had to happen. So, with all that, we just want to ask for our 10 listeners to, pray for the families of those killed and those hurt in that.
Those wounded, yeah.
And
those tragedy that weren't wounded, because that sometimes is just as bad.
Yeah, the trauma is just as real.
The trauma isn't maybe, I got to rehab my leg. It's, why did I survive?
Uh-huh.
You know, so yeah.
Or just the trauma of, hearing the gun and seeing people getting shot around you and in front of you. So yeah, just and that's the thing. Like, I don't pray for Vegas, right? Because don't pray for Vegas. Don't pray for the city, right? Don't pray for Vegas. Yeah. Pray for the families. Pray for the Vegas. People, right? Pray for the people affected by this tragedy, and I include that. I include in that even the family of this deranged psychopath, this killer, right? Because like whatever he is and whatever he did will sadly like shine like a negative light on his family, right? And his family is still affected, right? Even though they weren't a part of it or anything, it still affects them as well. So just pray for peace and for grace for
what's going on,
for what's going on over there with the people.
Yeah, and
don't pray for the city.
Yeah, and then and lastly, just keep praying for Puerto Rico. Some things have gotten better, some things have gotten worse. Some things I just read the headline. I didn't even bother reading the article. I'm a little burnt out on all this new stuff. I was telling Jay the other day, I was like, I got off of Facebook the other day, and I stayed off for like 24 hours because it's so overwhelming. All the negativity, all the hurting, it's just, and then I have to listen to it 8 hours every day. It's like the 6 o'clock when I walk in, to 2 o'clock, it's news.
Imagine me.
So,
and then everybody wants to talk to me about it, right?
Yeah,
hey Jay,
but you get emails. You can.
What do you think of? And I'm like, dude, just don't talk to me.
You can get emails. You can just kind of
like. I'm at the point,
and you can put your headphones in so no one bothers you. Whereas me, we have to have that TV on.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Constantly.
I'm at the point where the security guards are like, hey Jay, before you snap, like if you feel you're gonna snap, like give us a call, right? Call us first, right? Because it's like I'm not the only Puerto Rican that works in this company of over 5,000 people, right?
Man.
Well, I'm pretty sure way over 5,000 people.
But it's
like, hey Jay, well, what do you think? And it's always like the angry stuff. It's not like, hey Jay, how's your family?
Right.
I mean, I've gotten that too, but it's like, well, what do you think of what's going on, right? It's pissing me so. I'm like, dude, why don't you shut the hell up and go like make a donation, right? You want to know what I think? Here's Convoy of Hope. Right? Here's their website. Make a donation.
Yeah,
right?
they're there.
Show me your anger by making a donation to help my people.
And that's the thing, man. It's just so overwhelming because everything is political, right? So I mean, within the hour, the shooting in Vegas became political.
Was politicized by
within the day, the stuff in Puerto Rico was, and it's still being politicized, and it's just like. Yesterday I kind of waded into some waters that I normally stay out of for whatever reason. I just
yesterday was you and today was me.
Yesterday I felt, but it was one of those things where I felt like you're saying something you don't know what you're talking about. So let me try to tell you the truth, and then that person's bias and their animosity towards the topic. They didn't want to listen. They didn't want to listen. They had to make their point as to why they were right in this topic, in this thing.
That's why
that's why I never step into that stuff.
I pulled back and I saw you were still going in. Like
you know why though? You know what's funny? If you read it, the one thing that was funny for me is that as I kept answering each point objection, they had to keep changing the definitions, or they had to keep changing the terminology until they just finally said good night. They were done with me.
Yesterday was you, today was me.
I never do that on Facebook. I never get into those discussions.
With the childhood friend. So
yeah, so
and and then after a while, I'm like, why?
You can't why did I even answer?
Why am I repeating myself?
Why did I even respond?
And so like
frustrating.
They came back with like more of the same, right? More that's like it's like we're not having a discussion because, right? If it's dialogue, if it's a discussion, then I hear your point of view. And respect it. You hear mine and respect it. But it's like no. This is what I think. And I just went. Thank you Facebook for giving me the option of just clicking like and moving on.
Yeah, you just like want to smash your head with a brick.
Click like, move on.
So anyway, it's just been overwhelming. And it's just like I'm done.
Right. For those of you that are praying that are praying with us for our families, for our people, for our island. Thank you, and we ask that you continue to pray. And for those of you who have donated anything, even if you donated help, right? Thank you so much for that, because I think the last thing that I heard today and I posted today was it's been like 15 days, right? But like the island of Puerto Rico is still in such a damaged state that it's still in like a state of emergency, like it just happened, right? So and we won't, to be completely honest, as painful as this honesty is to admit to, like it's not gonna get out of a state of emergency for a couple months. The island as a whole, because what you see on TV is only one part of the island, right? That is more city,
right? And you haven't seen the areas that are not even, they can't even connect to. Like I was saying, I don't know if I said this last week, but Angel, his wife, like her hometown, it's just it's a two lane road, right? That goes through it. So if now you got a lot of small towns like that in Puerto Rico, yes, little pockets, and so if you get mudslides on both sides, that's it. You're in trees and stuff, then that's it. There's no way to get in. Yeah. Until stuff gets cleared. So there's a lot of stuff, and we're not gonna
like I mentioned last week. Like the town where my family's from, right? Like the bridge is out because of the flooding. Right. Like it just knocked the whole bridge. So there's the only way in and out would be through the old road that goes through the mountains. That's not safe.
Right. That's probably blocked. Also, all kinds of stuff.
Just
so not to get into.
No, we're not going to get too much into it, but thank you.
Yeah, just keep praying.
You for praying and keep praying.
Convoy of Hope, Samaritan's
if you're donating financially,
two great places: Samaritan's Purse and Convoy of Hope. Great organizations.
If you're donating blood,
they're Red Cross,
right? And
only give. I'll always say this: only give Red Cross your blood, but give your money to someone like Convoy of Hope or Samaritan's Purse. Or do your research if you want to find another organization, right? Where the majority, where 80% or more, is going to go towards the actual needs, not into the administrative,
not into the organization,
advertising and all that stuff. And Convoy of Hope, and Samaritan's Purse, I think, was there like as soon as they could land the plane, they were there with blankets and water and all kinds of stuff. And then Convoy of Hope was there as soon as they could get there with all kinds of food and supplies. So.
And if you are donating like supplies and things, thank you. I'm gonna,
no matter where you are, like it just seems like everywhere in this country there's a Puerto Rican restaurant or organization or spot where they're taking supply. Buen Provecho was on CNN. The owner was on CNN a couple of days ago.
They were also on WSB. CNN is fake news. I work for WSB. Well, they were also on WSB.
But CNN reaches more than WSB.
They were also on WSB.
They were on WSB. They were on.
I made a big stink about it at work.
They were on another station, also. But anyway, the point is that the dude, he had to tell people like, look, guys, don't leave stuff here without somebody being here, because people were just dropping them off in the middle of the morning.
But you were there with Angel.
I went there a couple weeks back. Angel. Man, the place was packed.
I went there on Saturday with Junie,
and it was packed.
And it was
crazy. Jay sent video.
It was
insane.
Crazy. I don't think I posted the video or the pictures.
So
on
just
Outcry Insta. I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll do that
tomorrow. Just keep doing that. So let's shift again one more time. We're gonna go into today's song. It's an upbeat song. It's a great.
We have learned.
It's a great song. It's a great song because it's an upbeat song, and it's
and that's what we need to get.
Yeah, and it's a joyful song, and
so
this kid named Aaron Cole.
Aaron Cole.
He's 18 years old.
The kid is dope.
And
he is super talented.
Listen, this kid is doper than me and Jay could ever hope to be at our age.
Or at his age.
But he's on Gotee Records.
Just signed.
So the song is called Right on Time, featuring one of our guys, Toby Mac. And I don't know, it's just a great little upbeat song. So we're going to go ahead with that. And here it is.
Don't worry, just lay it down, it's not your fight. Don't worry, it'll be alright. Don't worry, he will make your heavy light. Don't worry at all, worry at all. This love is always right on time. I've been trying to figure out my own way, trying to put it all on me. Way down by the pressure, without looking up, I know you see me. Cause on and on you keep blessing me, but on and on I keep worrying. Why I'm always running when you're telling me don't worry, just lay it down, it's not your fight. Don't worry, it'll be alright. Don't worry, he will make your heavy light. Don't worry at all, worry at all. Love is always right on time. Right on time. Rise up, get clean, throw 'em on like I'ma wear 'em. Ain't got the shoulders for the burdens I'm bearing. Broke down and pulling over by the wayside. Was never made for this type of way, so I throw my hands up and my load gets lighter. I throw my hands up and then burn like fire. Float up to heaven like the smoke in the air. I flip my worries in the prayer, leave 'em right there. Just lay it down, it's not your fight. Don't worry, it'll be alright. Don't worry, he will make your heavy light. Don't worry at all, worry at all. This love is always right on time. Right on time, right on time, right on time, right on time, right on time. Trying to make home. Yeah. I know your problems seem God-sized. If you can see them through God's eyes. Take a look, see. If you can only see them through God's eyes, yeah. I know your problems seem God-sized. If you can see them through God's eyes, yeah. He's right on time, right on time. Just lay it down, it's not your fight. Don't worry, it'll be alright. Don't worry, he will make your heavy light. Don't worry at all, this love is always right. Don't worry at all, this love is always right on time. Right on time, right on time. Love is right on time. Right on time, right on time, right on time. Right on time, right on time, right on time. Right on time, right on time, right on time. On and on, you keep right on time. Can't thank you enough. Right on time. Right on time. Yeah.
So that was Aaron Cole featuring Toby Mac. Right on time. Don't worry. It's right on time.
Oh my
Don't
God,
worry. All right. So
You're like the cornball parent who's trying to be cool.
first of all, I'm just a cool parent. That's what Juice calls me, right? I'm the dad.
You're the soccer dad.
I'm the soccer dad for whatever odd reason. Even though you guys are the ones with kids. But he's about to be the one with kid. And you're like got 15. So
and
Jay.
And grandkid.
You got like 15 kids and like 12 grandkids. So Jay.
12 grandkids.
There. All right, Jay. So, what we got for today?
What
we got for today?
So we're still bearing fruit. Right? We're still bearing fruit. So we've done, right? We've hit on who the Holy Spirit is. Right? Covered the fruit of love, joy, peace, patience. Did we do kindness? Yeah, we did kindness.
I don't think we did kindness, actually.
Yeah, we did kindness.
No.
We did kindness.
No, last week we talked about something completely different.
We did kindness.
Okay. All right, Pastor Jay. So what we got then?
Did we not do kindness?
We didn't do kindness, bro.
Oh, dang.
That's okay. We'll just We'll do
right.
kindness next
We
week.
do kindness next week. So today we're doing we're doing goodness, right?
Goodness gracious.
We're doing goodness, right? So the deal is that right, it's goodness, right? So I learned today that goodness, I'm trying to find it because there you go, that the Greek word for goodness used here, and I know I'm not pronouncing this properly because I'm not Greek, I'm Puerto Rican, and it's not the Puerto Rican translation, it's the Greek version of it, but I'm gonna read it the way it's spelled, and it's spelled agathosune, right? Agathosune. And it's defined as uprightness of heart and life. So in the Greek, agathosune means it's goodness for the benefit of others, not goodness simply for the sake of being good. And I was talking to Joaquin about, you were discussing this earlier, like we do before the podcast. We always talk about what we're going to talk about for the first 30 minutes, and then the teaching portion of it. And
It's only 20 minutes, so yeah. So
and
over prepare.
and then and it brought us back to the time when we spoke about agape love, where agape love is that Christ love, that love from God that is always focused on the other person, right? And loving unconditionally without expecting anything in return. So walking with the Holy Spirit right now and showing the fruit of goodness according to how they originally used that word in Greek, agathosune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got those
Right.
in this, yo.
It's being good and doing good for the sake of doing good, right? Not well, I'm gonna be nice to you and I'm gonna do this good thing so that when I need a favor,
Right.
or when I need something, you can return the favor, you can hook it up.
Correct.
And let's be honest. Even most of us with the best intentions, right? We tend to do things expecting something in return. Like you've seen those videos and those memes or those GIFs where like you're holding the door for somebody and they don't say thank you and they get upset. Right. And like the videos,
Right.
they grab the person, they throw him back inside, say thank you next time, right?
Oh, I do that in real life.
Yeah, the videos were of you. I just didn't want to say
I
that.
push little old ladies out the way. How dare you? I open the door for you. Yeah, that's true. I'm sitting here thinking when you're saying that about doing things. What's funny, I think what happens is that we'll do things for people not expecting anything. But you know what it is? It's like you married guys. Right? Yeah, I'm putting all y'all on blast, suckers. Because and not necessarily you, Jay. Not necessarily, but I've heard married guys where they'll say like, they'll be like, oh man, I got my wife this like dope gift, like extravagant gift, right? Tickets to spend $80 and took her to her favorite artist, or right, to see her favorite artist and dinner, and I spent $150, $200 for the night for her birthday. And then my birthday rolls around, she gave me socks. Or she gave me a shirt.
I would like a pair of socks.
And it's like so I sit there and I laugh, right? Because then I'm like, well, you didn't do all that stuff because you expected something in return, right? That's not the point.
But apparently they do.
But
That's the heart.
apparently y'all do. Apparently married guys do. So I don't know.
Thank you for saying not necessarily me, because I don't get my wife gifts.
No, because that's a whole nother.
I gave
session
her
on the couch.
I gave her 2 gifts forever.
Or or as long as she lives.
The two kids. Puerto Rican 1 and Puerto Rican 2, right? But I'm going to read something that's going to explain it a little better than I do, right? Goodness is virtue and holiness in action. It results in a life characterized by deeds motivated by righteousness and a desire to be a blessing. Right? So you're good, right? Right? You're good and you show goodness and you treat people right and you do good acts to people, right? Because what motivates you is the fact that, we serve and we're loved by a good father, right?
Correct.
We because God loves us, right? Because the Holy Spirit abides in us and we walk with the Holy Spirit and
Right.
we're always, and we've been pushing this every week that we've been talking about bearing fruit, right? We
You
push
need
about
the Holy Spirit.
showing
You need it.
that you are walking
Yes.
with the Holy Spirit,
With the
right?
Holy Spirit.
Allowing the Holy Spirit to take over and lead you into things. So because of these things, these are the things that push us and motivate us to do good for people.
And not expect something in return.
And not expect
and that's
anything
why
in
and
return.
that's why like short-term missions is such a that's where you learn that, right? Short-term missions in a third world country will teach you that kind of goodness, right? Where you'll get to experience it because you're going to be doing something for someone that they can't pay you back.
Yeah.
You're taking clothes or food or a combination thereof, and the only thing those people will give you back is a thank you, and that might be it. But you realize, wow, I'm helping you for the sake of helping you and because you're loved by God, and there's nothing that you could ever give me in return,
Right. At all.
and that's a tough thing, right? Because we all like to have things reciprocated. People talk about, and I'm not a father, so I'm gonna step on a limb here, but I feel like, from what I've observed, let me put it that way. If just the things that I've observed is like parents will love their kids, right? Parents love their kids, and the good parents love their kids unconditionally.
Right.
But whenever the kid doesn't reciprocate the parent's love, how the parent thinks the kid should reciprocate that love, then it turns into, well, you're ungrateful, or,
Well,
right? And so, I'm just saying, it's like, we throw that condition, right? That condition kind of gets thrown on the kid.
yeah.
Whereas I do this for you, and it's not, regardless of how you act, I do this for you, right? I give you love, but it's like, I do these things for you and you don't reciprocate it back by, that was my phone.
By behaving.
Or by washing
Throwing
the
out the
dishes,
trash.
or by throwing out the trash when I ask you to, that kind of thing. Whereas the goodness of the Father, the Heavenly Father, is I give you these good things, but He doesn't say you have to, right? You have to love me back.
Right. I give you these things so that you can worship me.
No, He says I give you these things because you're my child.
Right.
But because if we're walking in the Spirit, then what happens is our spirit realizes this, right? And so our spirit can't help but love God back.
And because we love
he-
God.
Because He's good, right? So because He's good, we love Him.
Right.
And because we love Him, we experience more of His goodness. But He doesn't withhold His goodness
If we don't love Him the way He wants us to.
if we don't love Him necessarily the way. Because I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking,
Sorry for the coffee.
That's okay. I was thinking the other day. It's like when you sometimes you sit there and you think, and you're just like, I'm thinking of all the crappy things going in my life, and then I think, well, man, here's some good things that God's done for me, even though I don't deserve them. Right? He's still good to me, and so I think when we're walking in that Spirit, that's that kind of love. That's the kind of fruit that we're then bearing. Is that fruit is the fruit of the Father, right? The fruit of the Father, the fruit that is like the Father's, where it's we give, You know, how it's like the other day on my birthday, I went out and because it was my birthday, I went to a cigar shop and I was at park and I was paying the meter. This guy walks up to me and he's like, "Hey man, you got any cash, man? You got a little bit of money, man? I just want to get a sandwich." It was this fish shop. And so I was like, hold up, man. So I finished what I was doing. And I said, "What do you want?" I just want a fish sandwich. All right. So I said, "Just wait right here. I'll be right back." So I went in. I ordered the dude like the supreme fish sandwich.
Cool. I
just ordered him the sandwich and a bottle of water. I didn't get him fries or none of that stuff. You just get the sandwich. I came out. I was like, "Come here, man." I gave him the fish sandwich and the water. Now I did that, right? Not because I knew he wasn't going to give me anything in return, right? The only thing he was going to give me was a thank you, right? Thanks, man. And that was it. And so, that's what goodness looks like.
Right.
Exactly.
Now
I'm not saying that I'm good all the time. I'm the worst at this kind of stuff. As Jay likes to chide me.
I'm here surprised and proud.
I'm not a merciful person. I am the least merciful person you will ever.
Mercy's not a fruit of the spirit.
Mercy, thank God it's not a fruit of the spirit. I definitely don't bloom those apples. But the thing is that, it was just I was able to do it, so I did it. And I did it without expecting anything in return. Now I'm not saying this because now it looks like, well, you're doing it because you wanted to get props. So the whole time I'm telling this, I'm like, I don't want props. If you want to give them to me, I'll take them. But I don't want props. But it's being in that moment. I guess really what I'm really saying. It's like being in that moment where you do something for someone else. You buy him the sandwich or whatever, and you move on, and you keep it moving. I didn't go into the cigar shop and I'm sitting drinking my little Cuban coffee and smoking my cigar going, "Man, I did a really good thing for that dude."
Hey, you see that guy over there?
Hey, I bought that homeless guy a sandwich.
You say that, and it reminds me of. And
but I did. That's what I'm saying, though. I did, but
I'm not. It's just for no other reason, but
it's a hard thing, right?
But
because
the example. Listen,
I ain't trying to big myself up.
So you say that about expecting something in return, right? So. Right, my oldest son, Jonathan, right, my ex-wife's son. I raised him since he was 2, and we're Puerto Rican, so if we're gonna go into sports, we go into baseball. Right, so as soon as he was able, right, drilling baseball in him, drilling baseball. Got him into it.
That's why he had head injuries.
Got him to a little league team.
Baseballs
Listen, got him into a little league team, right. Coached them, right? Championship after championship. Moved down here. Championship after championship. This kid lived and breathed baseball, right? That's what he wanted to do. When he got older, he wanted to play ball, right? That was his dream, to become a ball player. And then on the other side, his mother kept telling him, "Can't wait until you make it to the majors so you could buy me a house. Can't wait until you become a famous baseball player so you can," like all the time. That was like her thing. So he quit baseball. Right. He quit baseball.
Buy your own house, Mom.
And when asked why, he said, "Because I'm trying to, all I want to do is enjoy the game, but all Mom wants is for me to buy her stuff. So it took the fun, she took the fun out of it, right?" And I'm not saying that to throw her under the bus. I'm just saying that I'm using it as an example because we do, that's the mentality that we have, right? I'm gonna instill this in you. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna mentor you. I'm gonna help you out so that I can get some shine, right? Or later on down the road, you can remember me and thank me for your awards, or say, give me accolades, or buy me a house, right? Or buy me a car, or something, right? And
a Snickers
and that heart, right? Your heart, when you do things, when you're good with an ulterior motive, that heart does not reflect the heart of God, right? Because as you said, God showers us with gifts. He showers us with promises, right? And he keeps his promises because we're his children, and he loves us because we're his children.
Right. So I think the the way to look at it is like this: is like, you don't have to be a Christian to do a good thing,
Right.
right? But I think that what separates, or what should separate us, is you do a good thing that flows out of the love that God has for you, and out of that spirit, out of that Holy Spirit love that flows out to help someone else, not just out of a quote unquote good heart, right? Because there's good-hearted people that are nice people that will do nice things. Listen, there's people out there that are not Christians that buy food for homeless more than I do.
Correct.
Right. But I think for the believer, that needs to come out of not just a good heart, but that should come out of that overflowing heart.
And that grateful heart.
And that grateful heart. And it should come out of that walking in the Spirit heart. So, yeah. So, like, it's...
Right.
It's a fine line.
And in essence, right, every good thing that you do, right, should be done for the glory of God.
Right. It should be done as a
Right.
reflection of God.
Every good thing. I thought you were going to say, we don't do the good things. Because like you just said, everybody or anybody can do something good.
Right.
Right? You don't need to be a Christian to do a good thing. But because we are Christians, we should always look to do good things.
Yes.
Right? So, right, Matthew 5:16 says, in the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Right? And that teaches us that when we do good, right, without expecting anything in return, with the motivation of showing and shining our light to this world of unbelievers and even some believers, right, we do that and we give glory to God.
Yes.
Right? God receives glory from us doing good and being good, right?
Right.
With expecting nothing in return.
Right.
Right. But it's like we say this, we said this with every fruit that we've taught on, right?
But it needs to be driven by the Spirit. And
Exactly.
And that's the thing, because
Exactly.
I can do a good thing out of love, out of a godly love. I could do something good out of a godly love. But where the mind erasure part of it comes, as far as the expectation, I think it has to come from the Spirit. So like I can do a good thing for I can help a brother move.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a good thing. But if on the backside of that, I'm moving and that brother doesn't help me, and I'm like, man, but I helped him move. How come he's not helping me? Right? I did a good thing, but I didn't do it out of a good heart.
Correct.
But if it's out of the Spirit, then it's like I help him move, and then it's not my turn to move, and I'm just moving. And I'm not thinking, man, I helped this dude move. Right?
Or even if you ask them,
So it's like a Men in Black kind of thing. The Holy Spirit kind of erases
if
it.
you ask them and they can't, right, you don't get upset, right? You say, well, I helped you move.
I helped you move, sucker.
Right? You should help me move.
And then you go to their house and throw their stuff out. Move that back in by yourself.
Right? So it's like, oh, well, I can't, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. But you still go on, and there's no animosity,
Right, there's no
hard
holding
feelings, no angry, no nothing, right? So, right, every good and pleasant thing comes from God.
It comes from the
right. So
goodness, motivation of that Spirit.
Right, goodness as a fruit of the Spirit, right, is a goodness that
requires nothing in return.
Thank you. I was trying to find the words. Right,
Requires
it's a goodness that requires nothing in return. You are good because God has been good.
Right, requires nothing and has no expectation.
Amen.
So, I think that's pretty much it.
That is it.
Listen, man,
that's
I nailed
all.
it. So I don't expect props, but I'll take them if you give them. So that's it. Another long episode. Listen, we love to talk. We love to talk. I don't understand. We always try to say we're going to keep it short, and we never do. Listen, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. As always, if you want to leave us a comment, do that. Love us, hate us, be indifferent. I don't care. I don't care because I still love you. suckers. So
So stupid.
we will see y'all. We will see y'all next week when we will hear about Jay's retreat. If ultimately he's gonna go, I'm naming it and I'm claiming it.
Oh,
He's gonna
my
go to the
goodness.
retreat.
No, I know something's wrong.
And we'll geek out a little bit about the new Arrowverse episodes because we are nerds. And we'll just go with kindness for next week. We'll come back and hit kindness. I think the toilet flushed.
No, that's the coffee pot. You left it on and no coffee in there.
Oh, yikes. Anyway, that's it. So I'm Joaquin.
Still Jay.
And this is the Overflow Podcast.
Thanks for listening. Remember to head on over to thisisoutcry.com for more content. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or Stitcher.